Most of us wait for life to give us the have-tos. It's like if you don't push yourself, you don't stretch yourself, then God shows up and says, you need a little growth.
Raspo beats.
And provides it to you in a way you probably won't find very pleasant. So I believe in raising my own standards, so hopefully God doesn't have to step in too many times with me. Right? Maybe God just gives me the opportunity and I can make some intelligent choices. Second thing that all people do who get what they really want, who expand and have a quality of life, is they change their limiting beliefs. Because the only thing keeping you from getting what you really want really is the belief that you can't have it, even though you say you think you can. The unconscious belief. The belief inside of you that says, oh yeah, I can do this. Voice inside says, who are you kidding? We're gonna give you a few skills on how to get your beliefs aligned. Have you ever been in a place where you were so focused, it was like you and the task at hand, and there was nothing else in the world but what you were committed to? Bombs could be going off, you wouldn't know about it. How many of you have ever been in that place? I call it a genius state. How many been there? Say aye. Okay, that's the state you're gonna get yourself into. Absolute certainty. The bottom line is, what you're thinking about in this moment is controlled by your beliefs and your values, the way you've been raised, right? But many of you never chose those consciously. You just kind of pick this stuff along the way and it affects your life.
Raspo beats.
So we're gonna decide consciously. And we're not only gonna destroy what doesn't work, you're gonna install what you need. When your beliefs are on track, when your values are on track, you are pulled in the direction you want instead of being pulled apart. You ever been in that place? It's like you want two things that are totally in conflict. I'll show you how to resolve that. And that'll be a huge, huge shift for most of you. And then the third thing you need to really make your life work, besides incredibly high what? Uh-oh, we're in deep trouble already, I can see. Really high what? That's right, you gotta raise your standard, whatever it is. It's gotta be the next level of standards for you. You can't get to the next level of your life with the same level of thinking, with the same level of standards as you have right now in this moment. So I could give you a million skills, give you all the ability, you get pumped out of your mind, leave here, and unless it's a must for you, you'll go back to doing the same stuff. You know, you have like a nice month or two of like riding high on the float to the seminar, but I'm seeing permanent, lasting change. The only way you do that is get enough leverage on yourself that change is a must. And once you change it, it's so reinforcing, you stick with it. Not because you're so disciplined, but because it's so rewarding. Then the third thing you gotta have is the right strategy.
Raspo beats.
Because it's one thing to have a high standard, like you go, I'm gonna go out and change the world. That's my must. Then your voice inside goes, who are you kidding? And you got a problem. But let's say you got the standard and the belief. And let's say your goal is to see a sunset. And your strategy is start running east looking for a sunset. I don't care how much you believe, you got a problem. You gotta have the right strategy. Strategies for overcoming fear, strategies for taking action, strategies for attraction, causing attraction to happen to another person towards you and vice versa. Strategies for feeling love, strategies for making decisions, strategies for creating rapport. Things that work. Why do they work? Why is it a strategy? It's proven. Because people of all directions, backgrounds, genders, all can do the same result. It's a strategy when anyone can do it. As long as they do it that way. It's like a recipe. Once you know it, you create the same result as often as you want. But you gotta have the right strategy, or you can work real hard and be a really good person and be a real hard worker and still have nothing. And most people have this in lots of areas of their life. Their financial life is an obvious example. 95% of this population ends up dead broke or dead by age 65. Why? They don't have the right strategy, and they have low standards and they don't believe. But some of them even have those two, but they don't have the strategy. So we're gonna work on all three of those elements. Does that make sense? Let me offer you a possibility. We know you've learned from the past and not done it. Why? Why is because all this information came at you. But as I said to you, information doesn't change your life. We live in the information age, supposedly. There's too much information. You can't possibly absorb it to you. Where's it coming from? Everywhere, right? right? It's coming from CD-ROMs and pretty soon DVDs for many of you, and it's on the internet. We are drowning information and we're starving for wisdom. We're starving for those things we can actually use to actually get what we really want. Otherwise, you can spend all your time on the internet reading more information or chatting or buying something and never have any change of life. The internet's not gonna make your life better. You have to make your life better by using your resources differently.
Raspo beats.
But here's the deal, we're not in the information age, we're in the entertainment age. Here's what really grabs us, something that moves us emotionally. We don't remember all that information. When something grabs us, man, we remember. Some of you old enough to be around long enough to know this, remember where you were when you heard John F. Kennedy was shot. Right? For some of you, maybe it was John Lennon if he was an associated hero for you. For others of you, there's an emotion, right? There's a feeling, there's something there. It's not the information that's getting you, right? Why were people watching every single day? Drama, entertainment, emotion, feeling. So the only reason people pay attention though when we get something is you add feeling to it. So here's my goal with you. I don't want this to be a class. We're gonna try something different. We're gonna go into 21st century learning. See, this was designed for you to obey, to enter the 20th century where your job was working in an industrial complex of some sort, maybe building cars or something. And so they trained you from birth that you'd arrive on time, check in, do what you're supposed to do, and sit and shut up till someone told you what to do, and then you only did what they told you to do, and you didn't talk to your neighbor. Now today in business, if you don't talk to your neighbor, you're out of business, right? Today, if you wait for somebody to tell you what to do, you're in trouble. Today, you gotta think, you're in teams, you gotta make it happen, you gotta create it, you got your own business. It's a different world. So this has trained us for a world we're not in. So we have to be in a proactive, aggressive, entertainment-driven, emotional world. That's where we are. That's what you want. So the only way to get that is to learn in that state. So this is gonna be very different for most of you. I'm gonna ask you not to be the passive, deep trance, hypnotic subjects. I'm gonna ask you to be outrageous, playful, crazy, silly, and fun. Fun, and fun. If you and I are gonna be effective as people, which means have fun, be fulfilled, be passionate, get results, achieve, learn, grow, all that, then we've gotta become active rather than passive in our experience. In order to do that, it starts with the way we move and the way we think. And so I have a metaphor for myself.
Raspo beats.
I think the most influential people in the world are kids. How many of you have kids? How many of you ever tried to say, no, you can't have an ice cream cone to a kid and saw moves you've never seen in your life before? Right? They don't hear no, it goes right on by. So if we want a quality life, one thing's for sure, we've got to become people of influence. You got to be influenced your kids and your family and yourself. You got to get yourself to do what's necessary. I mean, influence is the base skill for quality life. Influence with integrity. So if you're going to influence yourself, then you might look at kids because they're good at influence. And they do it a lot of ways. They do it with their energy, don't they? They do it with playfulness. They do it by asking a gazillion questions. They do it because they're having so much fun that even when they annoy you, they make you laugh every bit, right? Somehow they pull it off. And so my view is I'm always going to be a kid, no matter what age I am. Because kid or adult or old person's all a mindset. I know a man who's 84 years old who has just started lifting weights about 6 years ago, now lifts bench presses 450 pounds. I mean, unbelievable. This guy is like pure stud, right? And there's all kinds of research showing now about people starting in their 60s and 70s start lifting weights and get as strong as men and women in their 20s and 30s. And his mind is the best part, though. That's why he does it. I mean, sure, anybody could learn to do that, but most people don't have that as a standard. I mean, come on. We're all in cultural hypnosis. I mean, when you're in your 60s, it's over, baby, right? You're getting old. Baby boomers start freaking when they hear those kinds of things. Right? They go, wait a second, I'm in my 50s now, I'm in my late 40s, I'm gonna defy all that stuff, right? Most people in their 60s and 70s don't have that as their standard, saying, I'm gonna learn to bench press 450 pounds, so they don't. It's a should. It's not even a should, it's a never maybe. They don't have any belief that it's possible, any sense of certainty, and they have no strategy. He had all three. I also know a young man I was talking to recently, he's 21 years old, he's probably the oldest person I've ever met in my life. Because everything is impossible for him, and he's tired all the time, and he can't accomplish anything, and the world is forever terrible. It's a mindset, isn't it? How many want to be a kid for a few days here? Say I. Okay, then if you're willing to do that, here are a couple ways to do it. Number one, when I ask you a question, yell back the answer. Not so we have a rah-rah session here, but because research shows if you sit and listen to me passively, within 4 weeks you'll remember 10% of what I said. If you listen and take some notes, jumps up into the 50 percentiles. If you listen, take notes, but physically are active, like you yell back the answer, your attention is in the 90 to 95 percentiles, because what happens is, like when you yell an answer back, it's like driving the grooves of what you learn deeper inside of you. Plus, you're gonna know the answer to anything I ask you. I'm only gonna ask you questions you know the answer to, because I wanna help you to have strong self-esteem. It's easy stuff, but by yelling yes, you'll also keep your energy high. How many wanna do this, especially when you don't feel like it, so you build some emotional muscle? Do you agree with me that if you really want an extraordinary quality of life, that one of the things you gotta master is your ability to get yourself to take action, to influence yourself, number one? How many agree with that? Say aye. How many agree, number two, you'd have to become good at influencing others with integrity, meaning getting people to do the things they normally won't do for themselves? How many agree with that? Say aye. Outstanding. So if influence is a skill, it starts in the first moments of human communication or connection. So I want you to try something silly. I want you to notice little things. You know, most people think little things don't matter. They want to see the big thing. But I have a different mindset. When someone negotiates a deal that changes planet Earth, like, Gorbachev and Reagan get together, and for the first time in human history, you destroy nuclear bombs. I want to know what caused that. And everybody looks at the big thing. But I get together, and I've had the privilege of being with both those guys, and I found out exactly from them what was the little thing. They didn't even notice at the time. Like later on in retrospect, they figured out what actually made them become friends, actually made them make an agreement. Little things change everything. If you're heading this direction, we make a little 10-degree shift. It looks like nothing, 10 degrees between these two. But if you take that 10-degree shift out a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you have a revolution. You have a totally different destination and where your life turns up. Because it's so much easier to change the little things when you're way upstream. It's like I have a simple philosophy. Kill the monster while it's little, when it's a baby. Don't wait till it's eating the city before you kill the monster. Okay? And we all have little monsters inside that we want to handle. We also have some real great things that we want to magnify.